Okay, welcome. We know you're busy, and keeping up with media and entertainment, it's a full-time job almost.
It really is. Constant changes.
Exactly. So, you want to know what's actually important, right? Without digging through endless news feeds.
Mhm.
That's what this deep dive is all about. We've combed through a recent industry roundup.
And pulled out the stuff that really matters, the key insights, the surprising bits.
Basically, we're giving you the curated briefing, saving you time, getting you that edge.
Yep. Getting you up to speed fast and thoroughly.
All right, let's jump in. There's some really interesting movement happening. First up, the streaming world. Australia, specifically.
Yes, Stan. It's kind of a big deal because they're now the only Australian-owned streaming platform left.
Really. After Presto went and others got bought up.
Exactly. So Stan's in this unique spot. It's not just about flying the flag,
Right. It means they're positioned to maybe champion Aussie stories more.
Precisely. Stories that might not fit the, global template of the big international players. It could really foster local content.
Yeah, you think about the impact on writers, actors, directors there. Huge potential, but probably pressure, too.
Oh, definitely. A big responsibility to nurture that local talent and culture. Their success could really shape things.
Okay, sticking with talent, but shifting focus. Hollywood. We're seeing a bit of a migration, right?
It's pretty stark, actually. You see these numbers. 18,000 traditional production jobs gone in 3 years.
Wow, 18,000. So where are those people going? Are they just leaving the industry?
Well, that's the fascinating part. They're not just vanishing. A lot of that energy, that talent,
Yeah.
it's moving.
Into the creator economy. I saw that YT job stat, over 400 creator roles listed.
Exactly. That's not just a few gigs. That's like a fundamental shift. People realizing they can build their own thing online.
Industry veterans pivoting to social media. Makes sense. More control, maybe. Direct connection. And potentially more direct revenue. Then you have that Goldman Sachs prediction. The creator economy hitting $500 billion by 2027.
$500 billion. That's staggering. It really shows the scale of this.
It does. The challenge then becomes, cutting through the noise, building a sustainable model outside the studio system.
So adaptable skills are key. As the sources mentioned, it's a whole new game.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's pivot again. TV formats.
Yeah.
This sounds interesting. Scammon Crawford's using dating analogies.
Yeah, it's quite a fresh take. She uses them to kind of break down the tricky business of TV formats. She's got some critiques, too.
Dating analogies. Okay, I'm intrigued. Are format deals getting ghosted? What's the angle?
Maybe. She talks about how exclusivity isn't really the thing anymore. It's less let's go steady, more open relationship.
Okay, so formats might pop up in different versions in different places, adapted by different people. Kind of. It creates opportunities for reach, sure, but maybe risks watering down the original idea. She also questions just automatically looking to the UK and US for the next big hit.
Right, suggesting those aren't always the guaranteed winners everywhere else.
And she warns against what she calls a thirsty acquisition strategy.
Thirsty. That sounds desperate, like snapping up anything.
Pretty much. Maybe not thinking enough about the strategic fit, the long-term value, just grabbing formats aggressively.
Like speed dating and saying yes to everyone.
Exactly. She's arguing for, being smart, being strategic, but also being flexible when you negotiate. A balance.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hop over to the UK. A new drama, Jack Wright. Sounds like classic Chris Lang territory.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the inspiration. He apparently drew from real-life inheritance battles.
Oh, those always get messy. So it's tapping into that family drama, the legal tangle.
Exactly. It's blending family saga, whodunit, maybe even a bit of legal thriller. Sounds like a compelling mix.
Definitely. I like how those genres can overlap. How's it being funded?
It's one of those co-production deals. BBC, U, and BritBox US are all in on it.
Pooling resources. We see that more and more.
Yeah, and Lang mentioned it gave them more creative freedom. They started writing back in May 2023, focusing on character and intrigue.
Intrigue. Good word for it. Okay, from complex drama to physical media, DVDs are making a comeback. Seriously.
It's a bit surprising, isn't it? But yeah, there's this definite counter trend happening, that Brooklyn video store, Night Owl. It's kind of a symbol of it.
So people actually want DVDs, Blu-rays, even VHS in the age of endless streaming.
It seems so, especially cinephiles maybe. People who want that tangible thing, the special features, the feeling of owning it, not just renting access.
A bit of nostalgia maybe, a pushback against the digital-only world.
Could be. It suggests maybe there's a limit to how much we just want to stream everything.
Interesting thought. Okay, let's shift continents. Global storytelling. Omari Hardwick was in Kenya.
Yeah, engaging with local industry folks. It was
Yeah.
a fireside chat, Chocolate Empire, hosted by CCI Kenya.
That sounds significant. Him sharing insights on navigating the global scene.
Exactly. And praising Kenya's storytelling culture. It really highlights how connected the industry is becoming globally.
And he made a point about African stories having universal resonance, right?
A really powerful point. That good stories, authentic stories, can connect with audiences anywhere. They aren't just regional.
Moving beyond borders. Love that.
Yeah, showing the global appeal of diverse voices.
Okay, staying with storytelling, but penguins. Cale Smith's new documentary.
Secrets of the Penguins for National Geographic, yeah. But the angle is interesting.
How so? We've seen a lot of penguin docs.
Right. But Tale Smith's creative director, Ruth Roberts, emphasized using, cutting-edge tech and storytelling to make the familiar seem extraordinary.
Finding new perspectives, new details, even with a well-known subject.
Exactly. It's part of that Secrets of franchise, so you expect high production values and maybe some innovative camera work or something.
Pushing the boundaries of nature docs. Cool.
Definitely. Using tech to get us closer.
Okay, back to the digital world. Channel 4.0 in the UK. They've got a specific playbook for Gen Z on YouTube, don't they?
They really do. Evie Buckley, who leads it, shared some insights. It's not just commissioning the right stuff.
It's the packaging, thumbnails, titles, all that.
Hugely important.
Yeah.
Getting that click in a super crowded feed. And data. Data drives a lot of their creative choices.
Right, using analytics to see what's actually landing with that audience, something traditional TV is still grappling with sometimes.
For sure. But Buckley also said, the pitch itself still needs to be compelling. And traditional producers need to adapt their thinking for digital first. It's a different beast.
Makes sense. Now, something more historical, intimate. Kevin McDonald's John and Yoko doc.
1-to-1, John and Yoko. Yeah, focusing on that really intense 18-month period for them in New York around the 72 benefit concert.
Reimagined IMAX footage. Unseen archives. That sounds incredible for fans. What was that time like for them, creatively and politically?
Seems like the film dives into that. Their creative peak, their activism ramping up, all set against that backdrop of 70s New York, and Sean Lennon is a producer.
Oh, interesting. Adds a personal layer, perhaps.
You'd think so. A more intimate look.
Okay, changing gears again. Crime drama. BBC's Reunion. The casting sounds really significant here.
It really does.
Right.
A majority deaf cast and using British Sign Language prominently on screen, that's a big step for representation in mainstream TV.
Absolutely. And the story itself. A deaf man, ex-prisoner, trying to reconnect.
Yeah, exploring those themes of isolation, communication, redemption. It sounds like it's bridging different worlds, literally and figuratively.
Powerful stuff. And staying with powerful stories, there's a debut feature, Treading Water.
Gino Evans' film. Sounds like a raw, authentic look at mental health. Stars Joe Gill, Becky Bow.
Set in Manchester, about an ex-prisoner battling OCD. That's a tough subject.
Yeah, but reports say it's handled with compassion, nuance, realism, but also emotional depth. There's a thread of hope in it, too, apparently. Important stories to tell. Okay, let's head over to Canada. CBC's big digital shift seems to be working out.
Definitely. Moving from primarily linear to digital first with CBC Gem and, over 50 YouTube channels?
Yeah, and the results.
Oh,
A 65% jump in watch time, that's huge.
It really is. And you know what's fascinating? That stat about long-form content.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Only 20% of their uploads, but it's driving nearly half the total usage.
Crazy, right? It kind of blows up the myth that everyone online only wants short, snappy stuff.
It really does. If the content's good, people will stick around. Shows how they're evolving their whole approach to audience development.
Meeting viewers where they are.
Now, some industry moves. Screen NSW in Australia is trying to attract more filming, right? Hired a new manager.
There's Ashley McLeod, yeah. Leveraging his experience to really pitch New South Wales as a go-to location. A strategic move.
And supporting the filmmakers themselves. The Grierson Trust for documentaries, they've expanded their board. They have 6 new trustees, bringing expertise from editing, directing, acquisitions, really strengthening their support for docs and diversity in leadership, too.
Good to see. Studios are shuffling, too. 5th season boosted its TV exec team.
Yeah, Sheridan Thayer promoted, and Lauren Deitch hired from Netflix. Looks like they're gearing up as they expand their TV slate, beefing up the leadership.
Makes sense. Okay, the big one for film fans. Cannes. The 78th festival lineup is out.
Yep, May 13th to 24th.
Yeah.
And the competition looks strong. Wes Anderson, Ari Aster, Julia Ducournau, some big names and exciting voices.
Always a great snapshot of world cinema. What about the opening film? And out of competition.
It's opening with Leave One Day. And out of competition, you've got Spike Lee, Another Mission. Impossible. Always draws crowds.
And De Niro's getting an honorary Palme d'Or.
Nice.
Clearly.
A true legend. And Julia Ducournau is heading the jury this year. Adds that extra prestige. It really sets the tone for the year in film.
For sure. And within Cannes, there's the Director's Fortnight section. Nadav Lapid has a new film there.
He does. It's called Yes. About a jazz musician and a dancer asked to write a new national anthem. Sounds very lapid. Provocative premise.
His seventh feature. Always interesting. Okay. From art house Cannes to the UFC. Zhang Weili, the champion, is acting now.
Yeah. Starring in a Chinese drama called After the Typhoon, set in Beijing, about recovery after a disaster.
Wow. Quite a switch from the Octagon. Exploring resilience, trauma. That's quite a debut role.
Shows how boundaries are blurring between sports and entertainment, I guess.
And sticking with China, the Beijing International Film Festival celebrated director Zhu Xu, part of the Hangzhou New Wave.
Right. Seen as a rising star. His films apparently deal with love, language, memory. It sounds quite poetic. Getting a retrospective there is a big nod.
Cool. We also got a glimpse of that Cannes opener, Leave One Day. Trailer's out.
Amélie Bonin's film. Looks like a journey of rediscovery for the main character. And MK2 Films is handling sales, so there's interest.
Looking ahead, India's launching a massive entertainment summit next year. Waves 2025.
Yeah, this sounds huge. Bringing together global leaders. Shah Rukh Khan, Ted Sarandos, Amitabh Bachchan, Rajinikanth. The list is impressive.
Wow. And an Indian Prime Minister inaugurating it. That's a statement.
Definitely signals India's ambition to be a major global player in media and entertainment, focusing on their role in global storytelling.
Big things happening there. Closer to home, in Europe, NATPE Budapest had its first Honors Europe Awards.
Yeah, recognizing innovators. Folks like Daniel Grunt, Magdalena Swedzkiewicz got Shift Disturber Awards. George Levendis, Levante Malnay got North Stars, and Yana Honcharenko for Cause Plus Action.
Good to see recognition for pushing boundaries in European media.
Absolutely.
Now, AI, it's everywhere. London's doing a workshop on AI for content creation.
Yeah, led by Hattrick and Charismatic.ai, focusing on practical AI workflows, how creators can actually use this stuff.
And a panel with industry leaders discussing the impact. Sounds useful for direct-to-audience creators especially.
Look at production, creativity, efficiency. All the big questions are on AI right now.
Okay, honoring talent again? Brian Cox is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
At the Berkshire International Film Festival, yeah. Very well deserved, a fantastic actor. The festival has other screenings too, of course.
And Complex Con, that street culture festival. Big success in Hong Kong.
Record-breaking, apparently. Huge attendance, millions in sales. Really shows its global appeal now beyond the U.S.
Okay, let's wrap with a lightning round of development news stuff that's in the works. First looks, new deals. ITV's got Secret Service.
Yeah, first look at that adaptation. James Marsh directing, Gemma Arterton starring. Sounds like a spy thriller.
Asghar Farhadi's making a French film with an incredible cast.
Isabelle Huppert, Virginia Fira, Vincent Cassel, Pierre Nancy.
Wow. Yeah, parallel tales. That's going to get a lot of attention.
Definitely. Then there's an adaptation of a Swedish novel, Yanni, for SVT.
Focuses on friendship, identity, deportation. Sounds timely.
BBC Studios and JTBC are doing a co-pro about Korean haenyeo divers. Yeah, Deep Dive Korea, following an actress training with them, UNESCO Heritage Divers. Pretty amazing. Premiering on BBC Earth and Asia.
Lauren Graham's joining that Colleen Hoover adaptation. Reminders of him.
Yep, adds more star power to that one.
Horror fans have the Mortuary Assistance movie coming, based on the game.
And Gary Doberman's rebooting Urban Legend for Screen Gems.
Urban Legend! Wow, okay. Paramount UK has The Trial, near future drama.
Yeah, about parents being liable for their kids' crimes. Intriguing concept. Claire Skinner, Ben Miles starring.
Stephen Frears directing The Anarchy, based on the book about the East India Company.
That sounds epic. For Whip and Roy Kapoor Films.
Rob Lowe and Crispin Glover in a horror film, The Third Parent.
Yep.
It's unexpected casting.
Right. Wrapped production. Bleecker Street has North American rights. Sales at Cannes.
Jack Dorn's doing a Channel 4 drama, Falling, set in the church.
Yeah. Keeley Hawes, Papa Essie exploring faith, sacrifice. Sounds like quality drama.
Hunger Games prequel casting, McKenna Grace.
As Maisley Donner, yeah. Big role for her.
Jamie Lee Curtis teaming with Blumhouse for a TV thriller, Darkly.
Sounds like a good fit. Adapting Marisha Pessel's novel.
NBC's rebooting Royal Pains. Mark Forrestein's back.
Seems like it. Original creators involved, too. Bit of nostalgia there.
And a trailer dropped for Bad Boy from the Euphoria creator.
Yeah, inspired by true events. Teen and Juvie finds creativity. Netflix, coming soon.
Lots going on. And quickly, some deals. Globo expanding telenovelas to Mexico, Poland.
Partnering with Tubi and Canal Plus A.
New international sales company, 29 Palms, launching at Cannes.
Yep, and Paradise City Sales picked up a Portuguese film. Intramovies got an Israeli one. Lots of Cannes deal activity.
Lionsgate shareholders approved the Starz Spin-Off.
A done deal. 2 separate companies now.
SPI International expanding film box in Bosnia. Ralph Macchio signed with Gersh. Charles Yu with Blue Marble.
Busy times for deals and representation.
New kids content company, The Kids Table, focusing on digital first.
Yeah, veteran execs behind that one.
Lucky Matrix taking Brazilian series to Cannes. Goodyear and Curiosity adapting books. Amazon Prime on Astro in Malaysia.
Just shows the global flow of content and deals. It never stops.
Phew. Okay, that was a lot. So, stepping back, what are the big themes here?
Well, clearly the streaming landscape is still shaking out, right? With local players like Stan carving out space.
Definitely. And the creator economy. It's not just a side hustle anymore. It's a major force reshaping talent and production.
Absolutely. And through it all, the power of a good story, whether it's a blockbuster film, a local drama, a Penguin doc, or a YouTube series that endures.
Plus all the strategic maneuvering behind the scenes, the co-productions, the new ventures, that relentless push towards digital first.
Yeah, it paints a picture of an industry in constant rapid transformation. Everything connects.
So that leads to our final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about all these shifts, what new opportunities or maybe what new challenges do you see coming up? How we watch things, how things get made? It's all changing.
Yeah, definitely something to chew on as things keep evolving so quickly.
Well, hopefully this deep dive gave you that shortcut, that curated view you were looking for. Feel free to explore any of these areas further if they caught your interest. Thanks for joining us.